Hello and welcome to the Albion meta tier list of May 2024. Now you may be wondering, but Quazars, it's still April, and yes, you're correct, but Albion Europe is right around the corner, and we already had the Foundations patch, so I figured some of you might appreciate it coming out a little earlier than usual. You can maybe plan ahead which weapons you want to play on the new server. Now, just a quick heads up, I will not be covering the crystal weapons in this video. Overall, I think they are underwhelming, but we probably need more testing to see if they are playable anywhere. Links to everything you need can be found in the description below. We will cover solo content and Hellgates as usual, and then end it with a top 10 most versatile weapons list. I made a video not too long ago as well, which is basically a ZVZ, not quite a meta tier list, but more of a meta overview, and it's still pretty accurate, but heading even more towards the brawl meta. Like, I've seen healers with guardian helmets, shit's crazy. So if you're interested in ZVZ, check that video out. And without further ado, let's jump into the tier list. For Mists and Corrupteds, not much has changed since last time, because let's be honest, it was mostly a ZVZ and open world patch with Foundations. The only real change to solo play is hammer Qs and Ws being reworked. Now the W is more for PvE, I guess. Slowing charge is still the way to go, I think. Now the new Q though seems solid, it deals nice damage, but is it better than Threatening Strike? I'm not sure. One thing to keep in mind though for EU release is that you might not be able to afford the expensive weapons at the start. This tier list is basically ignoring costs, assuming you can afford anything, so it's not a budget tier list, just keep that in mind. As always, Mists is more about abusing mobility and dueling, and Corrupteds is more about abusing the traps and environmental hazards, which is why we see Grailseeker take the #1 spot in Corrupteds. Worst case, you can always break crystals if you don't like the matchup. It's insanely safe, but as you notice, it's not even on the tier list for Mist at all, because the context matters. Armor of Valor and Mage Cult buff makes Grailseeker even better at the moment. Now, keep in mind there's a bug with Armor of Valor. It is bugged. It lasts 3 seconds, but only slows you for 2 out of those 3 seconds. That's most likely unintended and will get fixed in the next patch. Stuff like Grailseeker, many people would consider it to be cheese or like a cheese build, but I think it's a necessity in the game in order to keep turret builds in check. Some people might disagree, but again, if your goal is to climb in infamy in Corrupteds, then Grailseeker is definitely the best and the safest choice, no questions asked. Let's jump over to Hellgates. For 2v2s, Hellspawn remains as the strongest pick, but Claymore and Demonic are not too far off. More and more people are playing Prowling Staff and realizing just how good it is, so we see it at A tier, notably strong with Iron Root, but yeah, we don't really see any major changes otherwise. Carrion Collar got buffed, so it falls into B tier. Remember, Greatfire and Chill Howl are good at low ping, so if you're close to the server on EU, now that is a viable choice. It's A tier if you have like 10 to 30 ping, so you can definitely make it work. Overall though, more people are playing Iron Root, not just one-handed Holy. Carving is popular for its separate plus one-shot combo, which is the go-to playstyle for it. You don't really brawl with it, but keep in mind you need to pair it with Iron Root for maximum efficiency. And yeah, at B tier we have the usual Dagger pair, Death Givers and so on. If you want to play one-shot or double DPS, there's only really one comp that works at the moment, which is Staff of Balance and Blazing. You can check out KingKillua's link in the description below for gameplay if you're interested. For 5v5 Hellgates, people refined the front to back comp with Carrion Collar. Because of the buff, it's pretty strong at the moment. Ent with Graveguard Helmet is just crazy versatile, and we end up with a meta that's similar to 10v10s, where you have the best comp in S tier, which is the current front to back, and then everything else really sucks in comparison. So unfortunately, if you wanted some variety, some other fun comp to play, I'll have to disappoint you, but this comp, if played even remotely well, is the best at the moment, and it's mostly because of Ent, to be honest. It's overtuned and just hard counters. It completely shuts down other comps like Dive or One Shot. But yeah, that's pretty much it for 5v5s. For 10v10 Hellgates, now that's truly the place to abuse broken weapons. Shapeshifter weapons overall have been kind of busted since release, so it's no wonder that Ent, Bear, and Eagle are in the meta comp. Bear is just super overtuned, it's very annoying, strong fear, small stuns, crazy pierce, tanky as well on top. So yeah, it just has everything. And in a similar way, Ent is just crazy support, range DPS, sustain heals, cleanse, like everything packed in one. Now it's not as broken in ZVZs because Life Curse exists and specialized roles just do those individual aspects better, but in smaller scale with less people, it really shows how useful and versatile it can be. Eagle is a strong range DPS, big AoE, strong sustained damage with the Q, and most importantly, it can wear plate. So if someone tries to dive you, you just swap back to human form, and there you are, you're wearing plate. So you can position as aggressively as you want. You throw in a Dawn Song and Hellfire, and there you go, that's the meta DPS. And you just fill the rest with the standard 2 tanks, Arcane, 2 healers, and that's the meta comp basically. You have a strong Brawl comp that can one-tap Clothies with the Hellfire combo, and no other comp really comes close. One shot is dead. Even without Ent existing in the game, it will still be really bad, like barely A tier. Now, the exact setup for one shot, I don't know for sure, but I really would not recommend playing one shot at the moment. It's pretty bad. Now, you might have noticed there's nothing in A tier, and that's on purpose, just like in 5v5s, there's nothing else to play. Really, I was considering not even putting anything in B tier either, because yeah, like everything else just sucks. All the other archetypes suck. You can't play dive, you can't play one shot, you can't play pure front to back or kidnap, because the current meta comp is just too versatile in all aspects if played correctly. Can punish the front well, it can brawl well, good AoE, good setups, a lot of heals, just very oppressive, very strong. Overall, I don't think anything else comes close, so that's why I decided to just leave A tier empty, same as for 5s. But yeah, as you can tell, this is probably the most polarizing meta we've seen in 10v10 so far, and I blame most of that on just how strong and versatile the shapeshifter weapons are, especially the Bear and the Ent. For the top 10 list, we've assembled the most versatile weapons which you can run almost anywhere and still be useful, whether it's PvP or PvE. It comes to no surprise that Primal Staff is ranked number 1 due to its strong utility in group content and just being very oppressive overall in solo content as well. Hallowfall is the most versatile healing option, so makes sense. You can play it pretty much anywhere and you will be useful. Bloodletter is the go-to mobility weapon. The Execute is useful in group content, and yeah, the rest just the usual weapons that are versatile everywhere, that are strong for PvE and so on. Now keep in mind, while these weapons are useful almost anywhere, the builds will vary depending on the content you're doing. So I highly suggest you check out the video I made, how to find builds in Albion Online. It's mostly a meme video, but it unironically has useful advice even up to this day. And that's it for the Albion meta tier list of May. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and comment. If you have any feedback on the tier list, join the community Discord today. If you have any questions, we'd be glad to help you out. If you have any questions about builds or what weapons to play or any specific content and so on, links to everything can be found in the description below. And yeah, that's all I had for you today. I hope you all have fun on the EU server if you're planning on playing there. I know I will. Check out my Twitch stream. I'll be streaming a bunch during the first week at least. So yeah, thank you for watching and I hope you have a good one.